Sometimes, when I make a great effort, I can remember her scent, the sweetness of her breath. Serena.
E aí galera, beleza? Bem-vindos a mais um vídeo do canal. Dessa vez trazendo um jogo do Serena. Como vocês puderam ver aí no trailer que eu botei, é um jogo de suspense, meio terror, meio point and click, que fala sobre a história de um rapaz que acho que perdeu a esposa. Então, deixa eu ver aqui a hora exatamente, são 4h49 da manhã, que eu consegui mostrar. 4h49 da manhã, então bora lá. Jogatina da madrugada. Play.
Sometimes, when I make a great effort, I can remember her scent, the sweetness of her breath. Serena.
Começou o jogo. Vou achar o volume. Pronto. Vamos lá. Essa aqui é a foto dele.
Serena? Why can't I see you more clearly? Why can't I even remember?
Só um aviso, eu esqueci de avisar. Talvez eu acabe me ajudando esse vídeo dessa vez se eu poderia mesmo. Porque tem uma personagem falando, então fica muito difícil eu falar tudo ao mesmo tempo. Então eu vou legendar na edição.
The furniture came with the cabin. Considering how off the beaten path this place is, that helped make up our mind. Sometimes she would brush her leg against mine under the table when we were eating. A curious, sensual thrill. The table is worn but sturdy, just like our relationship was. Or is. I just don't know anymore. Our dining table, quite modest, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I could tell plenty of stories about this table. To be honest, I'm surprised it's still in one piece. The dining table was well worn even when we acquired the cabin. You could tell from its appearance that it had been the centerpiece of many happy occasions, and there were many more to come. Our dining table, quite modest, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I could tell plenty of stories about this table.
Tem muita história sobre essa mesa aí, quando ele tava com a mulher e tal. Eu vou legendar. Vamos aqui. Isso.
So much wisdom and happiness in this bookcase. My life would have been much poorer without all this.
Espero que não seja pausa.
The smell of old books is intoxicating. What happens to wood pulp as it ages gives it that distinctive vanilla smell. I loved it when we took down one of my favorites and curled up on the bed to read together as the wind howled outside on cold winter nights. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. A lot of rarities and special editions here. I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? No, of course not. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. A lot of rarities and special editions here.
Basicamente falou porque tem muitos livros dos antigos, raridades. E que também tem livros da Serena, em casa, guardados ainda. E, desculpa, mas tive um pouquinho mais quieto, que eu quero ouvir e entender a história, mais quieto do que eu não vou, né? Porque eu falo muito.
So many afternoons spent in this armchair.
Come sit with me. I want to talk. And cuddle.
What did we talk about? Damn this fallible memory of mine. The most comfortable spot in the cabin, well, along with the bed, of course. I can imagine her cuddling up to me even now, putting her hand under my shirt. Of course, we made love here, too. There was no place in the cabin we didn't before things deteriorated. The most comfortable spot in the cabin, well, along with the bed, of course. Of course, we made love here, too. There was no place in the cabin we didn't before things deteriorated.
Tem nada. Não pode ficar aqui.
This way, I guess it's covered with grease and grime from cooking, mostly. There's probably nothing out there that I want to see, anyway. All the stuff I care about is inside. Well, except for Serena. I can make out nothing through this window. There was a time long ago that all this disrepair felt oddly homey. All the windows are drafty, but like everything else, we just got used to it. We liked it, even. I can make out nothing through this window.
Fiz uma dissertação sobre a janela aí. Que é isso, velho? Sai fora.
No, I don't want to leave right now. There's still something for me in here.
Não pode ser dentro da casa.
Quite a large armoire for our admittedly Spartan needs. She uses most of it. We all have our skeletons in the closet, but not Serena. She was perfect. I'm not sure why, but I don't feel like opening it. The sole thought of it drains what little energy I have left in me. Maybe later. There's nothing. I'm a casual dresser. No, don't think Serena would approve of me making an even bigger mess of the clothes in here. Maybe later. There's nothing of interest inside the closet anyway. She used to keep magazines, paperback novels, usual stuff on these nightstands when we were staying here.
Good night, love.
She would always bring her reading material like I did. Why are these nightstands so empty? Dust everywhere. The amount of dust on it might make me hack up a lung. It's full of little scratches and gouges. Dust everywhere. The amount of dust on it might make me hack up a... Our refuge from the world. A place of warmth and passion. Sometimes we joked we needed to be so far out in the woods because that's how our sex life was. Far out. The furniture came with the cabin, but the bedclothes we brought with us. A place like this needs some luxury, but without her... There are no monsters under the bed. I guess they're all in my head. I feel too restless to sleep right now. I don't sleep well without Serena next to me. Both a blessing and a curse, I suppose. There are no monsters under the bed. I guess they're all in my head. I'm a casual dresser. She made this with her own hands.
Ela fez
She was
com as
really
mãos.
good.
Ela era muito.
Look what I made, hun, in case we ever need to sweep something under the carpet.
Veja o que eu fiz. Veja o que eu fiz, querido. Em caso de nós precisarmos de. Ah, sei lá, esqueci. Eu acho que tem.
See the pattern of yellow squares? It's from this rug I remembered from my nursery. I must have been like 3 or 4, but it always stuck with me.
And no trap door under there, just more creaky floor. I always resisted the temptation to sweep things under there when it was my turn to tidy up.
The rug's all crooked again. Can you help me straighten it out?
And no trap door under there, just more creaky floor.
Acho que falta. Aqui.
The clock is a trophy from our flea market adventures. Chalk this particular purchase up to every cabin needs one.
Relógio, um troféu. Ah, não dá pra ler rápido, tem que legendar mesmo.
The ticking begins to feel homey after a while. The first night was a nightmare, though. Time never mattered much to us while we were hiding from the rest of the world here, as long as we were together and happy. The clock has always been rather autonomous. No matter how many times we've wound it up, it keeps going out of sync. Actually, I think it might have gone out of sync again. No trusting this clock. I wonder what time it is. As if it mattered. The clock has always been rather autonomous. We used to keep a pitcher of water and a glass on this nightstand, but they're not here now.
Então tá faltando uma garrafinha de água, copo.
There's a thick layer of dust and an almost invisible outline where we kept the water pitcher. It hasn't been long enough for so much dust to accumulate, has it? For some reason, I always slept on the side of the bed closer to the window. Never asked myself why.
Sempre dormia do lado perto da janela, nunca se perguntou por quê. Opa. Isso aqui. Eita.
She was special. Contradictory. She didn't mind these. Actually, I think she was into them too.
That looks interesting. We can always try it.
Eita, era bem malucão.
I needed some incentive to go check the mailbox from time to time. It's some way through the woods. She's beautiful, but what's her obsession with dolphins? I needed some incentive to go check the mailbox from time to time. It's some way through the woods. Something good left in this world. They still make covers like this. Erotic, not obscene.
Cara meio safadão.
She's beautiful, but what's her obsession with dolphins?
Bom.
I feel too restless to sleep right now. There's a strand of blonde hair in the comb.
Fiapo de cabelo loiro na penteadeira.
Yes, blonde hair like sun rays. I'm remembering.
Cabelo loiro com raios de sol. Estou me lembrando.
What's wrong with my memory? Did I have a stroke?
O que está acontecendo com minha memória? Tive algum problema?
She also had a brush, but I can't see it anywhere, nor some of her other personal items. It's just a regular comb bought from a supermarket, new enough to still have all its teeth.
Penteadeira, nossa. Pente não. Penteadeira, né? Penteadeira. Ou pente, sei lá o que é isso.
Hers. I used it too, when shaving. There's only an outhouse, and for some reason, whoever erected the rickety thing didn't think to include wall-to-wall mirrors, so this came in handy. Should I dust for fingerprints? I might if I were in a detective story. After all these years, it permanently smells of her and her perfume. The last thing I need now is to see myself in the mirror. I must look awful. There's dust on this, too. It's everywhere. After all these years, it permanently smells of her and the last thing I need now is to see myself in the mirror. I must look awful.
Deixa eu dar uma pausa aqui rapidinho.